Thank you, Dr. Coppola. I'm very glad to be here representing NASA, and particularly I'm very pleased to see future workforce in the very front row. And I got a comment on that challenge. I know some of the NASA people contributed to design the challenge, and by trade, I am an aerodynamicist. And if I were asked to solve the challenge today, well, you're going to have to wait a long time for the. So it's a very grateful to see young students, best and bright our nation can offer, and many congratulations. And I look forward to, as President mentioned to one of you, look forward to see you in the workforce in the next generation. So I have a prepared remark here, as always. People in my office so kind to give me this. But I'm normally not very good reading scripts. So I want to just point out a couple of things. Why are we calling ourselves, our country, as sometimes we say world power, and sometimes we say most developed country and most democratic country, and all those adjectives and description? In my view, because we are innovators. I think a lot of these attributes come because we are the innovators. And just about 100 years ago, Wright brothers flew that first powered flight. And I call myself an airplane junkie. And so I did go down to Kitty Hawk and walk down that exact path Wright brothers flew. And I was crying. And tears came into my eyes because this is the path Wright brothers opened up the new frontier. And later I understand why they picked that site. It's just so windy out there. So they had a little bit of an advantage for picking that site. But today, again, a little over 100 years passed. Today, we are the world leader for aviation. We have been for many, many decades. And I was at Boeing Seattle a few months back. And again, as an airplane junkie, it's just eye-watering to see beautiful 787, that new Dreamliner, rolling off the production assembly line. And there were several out there on the tarmac. See, I'm watering my eyes. Several on the tarmac with airline logos painted on their tails and so on. And they have close to 900 airplanes already in order. And that airplane, 787, will save about 20% of fuel consumption to any other competitors in the world. Doesn't matter what class of airplane, any civil large transport, Boeing believes they can save 20% of the fuel consumption. I mean, I'm not an airline executive. I will never become one. But that's an easy math. If you can save 20%, and some of you, I'm sure, know fuel consumption or fuel cost for airline operation is about 25 to 27% of their full revenue. So it is a huge chunk of their expenses. And airlines will die for 2% or 1% saving in fuel consumption. So today we're still leading the world, but competition is nipping at our heels. Let's face it. We lost regional jet market completely. We don't have any regional jet manufacturers in this country. And Boeing 737, smallest transport airplane, the number, if you look at number of passengers and the capacity or the performance, the large regional jets are really, literally, figuratively nipping at their heels. So an Airbus, as you know, the 380, I call a big Shamu. Flying in the air, if you see that, it's like really big, giant whale flying through, swimming through the air. That is being sold fairly healthy in the international market. So my colleague here, John Hickey, can talk far more interestingly and intelligently about all these areas. But we are still at the leading edge, and if we don't work as hard as we have been, we will not stay in that situation or in that position too long, because we cannot take it for granted that other countries will always be behind our country. So with that, NASA, working with FAA and other federal agencies and departments, and certainly DOD and Commerce and Homeland Security and all that, we've been in this R&D business for many, many decades. Just about every technology that you can think of flying on the current large transport has a trace or DNA, one might call it, back to NASA R&D. So certainly it is a proud government agency that I think the nation cherishes, and I'm just so grateful that I'm one of the NASA family there, and I hope I want to see all four of you at NASA. But some of the people, students going through this challenge will end up certainly in aerospace industry and making that huge contributions. So let me just bore with you a little bit of what NASA Aeronautics has been doing in the area of education. We have built a very strong education program in addition to doing that excellent research for many, many decades. So we have awarded 68 cooperative agreements with universities for the past several years. And again, when I visit these universities, mostly graduate students working in a team, they're so sophisticated. Again, going back to the challenge, they could probably solve that in 2 days. And whereas I need a whole year to solve that. So very sophisticated collaborations that we have established with universities. And also we provide teaching materials to teachers as well. And one most prominent teaching aid or tool is Smart Skies that we have developed with FAA to demonstrate or show how air traffic management works and teach mathematics. So Dr. Coppola mentioned about STEM, and I don't know whether this is really true or not, but I heard many years ago that Japan has 10 engineers for every 1 lawyer. No offense here for the, for the lawyer friends in this room, but the joke goes that U.S., our country has 1 engineer for every 10 lawyers. Again, there's nothing wrong with that, but we like to, we like to see 10 lawyers and 10 engineers, not in 10-to-1 ratio. And we have exciting R&D future to advance this aviation field, and NASA is really chartering that. You might have seen some of the media coverage that we are working on completely new aircraft configuration, departing from tube and wing, as we call it. So it could be looking like very different airplane in 20, 30 years. And we're very excited about that. So we need you in developing that kind of new airplanes. And air traffic management, again, working with FAA, we are trying to revolutionize air traffic management. And so many exciting things could happen in the field of aviation. And as our country spent a lot of research and development and tech development in this area and stayed as the world leader for many, many decades. For next 100 years, we need to stay in that position. And with this kind of challenge, NASA Aeronautics we also have a lot of competition challenges. So the more the merrier. So that's why we are excited to engage in this. And we like to see great success for this year's competition. And same time about next year, we'll have another future outstanding colleagues in our field sitting right here. So many congratulations and thank you for your support for this important challenge. Thank you.